It began as a whisper, the kind that slips through timelines at midnight, barely noticed, yet destined to burn everything in its path. A rumor, a screenshot, a sentence too vague to prove, too powerful to ignore. Within hours, that whisper became a storm, and 3 names were spinning at the center of it: Yandy Mendeecees Harris, and Jasmine Washington. The claim was simple: a DNA test had surfaced. The implications: catastrophic. By morning, fan pages were melting down. Every blog headline screamed betrayal. Every comment section turned courtroom. The results are out, they said. The truth's about to destroy the Harris family. But nobody had seen the results. Nobody had proof. Just speculation, screenshots, and the relentless voice of Tashak, who slid back into the conversation like gasoline poured on open fire. Her tone was measured, her words few, but every syllable carried weight. "This one," she said softly during a live stream, "ain't about cheating. It's about consequences, those consequences, real or imagined." Echoed louder than confirmation ever could. For Yandy Smith, life changed overnight. She built her brand on balance, grace under pressure, loyalty in chaos. But her usual captions about strength and peace suddenly stopped. No family selfies, no motivational quotes. In their place appeared black and white posts, cryptic phrases like "some truths don't set you free. They break you first." Fans read between every line. They always do. Across the city, Jasmine Washington went silent. No lives, no stories, no updates, just absence, the kind that makes people lean closer. A blurry photo surfaced, Jasmine entering a clinic after dark. No context, no timestamp. Still, it was enough. Bloggers swore it was confirmation. Others said she'd fled the city. But the mystery worked harder than any PR plan ever could. Meanwhile, Mendeecees Harris tried to hold the line, calm, cool, unbothered. But even through a screen, fatigue bleeds. His once bright smile now tight. His captions shorter. His eyes telling a story his mouth refused to form. Fans saw it. They always see it. Clips from old love and hip-hop episodes began resurfacing. Moments once harmless suddenly looked incriminating. A stray glance toward Jasmine, a nervous laugh from Yandy, an unfinished sentence. Commentators slowed the footage frame by frame. "Look at that pause," one fan wrote. "That's guilt," another replied. "That's pain." And maybe both were right. Inside their home, sources whispered of tension thick enough to taste. Yandy pacing hallways, eyes swollen from sleepless nights. Mendeecees avoiding questions, answering with half smiles. Every conversation sounded rehearsed. Every silence felt final. One insider recalled a quiet moment. Yandy sitting alone, phone in hand, whispering, "If it's true, I don't even know who I am anymore." That single sentence leaked online within hours, reposted hundreds of times, turned into memes, quotes, reaction videos. In the attention economy, heartbreak is currency. Tashak kept fanning the flames, dropping breadcrumbs without ever serving the full loaf. She spoke of private conversations, emotional accountability, and a truth too heavy for daytime TV. The audience hung on every pause for VH1. The chaos was opportunity disguised as crisis. Behind closed doors, producers debated the ethics of turning a family's unraveling into primetime gold. One leak claimed an internal memo asked, "Do we air it? Or do we bury it?" Another said the footage already existed. Tense exchanges, cryptic whispers, cameras catching too much truth for comfort. Online, factions formed. Team Yandy, the faithful wife betrayed by lies. Team Jasmine, the woman allegedly forced into silence. Team Mendeecees, the man trapped between legacy and scandal. The hashtags multiplied. Hashtag DNA drama. Hashtag Team Truth. Hashtag Yandy Y deserves peace. Within 24 hours, millions of impressions. But the deeper story wasn't numbers. It was exhaustion. The kind that sinks into bone. Yandy Smith, known for calm composure, reportedly stopped answering calls from production. She turned down appearances, skipped meetings. Friends said she'd stare into space mid-conversation, there but not present. "It's like she's replaying everything," one confidant whispered. Mendeecees wasn't faring better. His public posture said control. But insiders painted a man unraveling quietly, shorter temper, sleepless nights, long drives that ended nowhere. When family tried to console him, he said the same thing over and over. "People forget I'm human." Yet humanity is rarely granted once the internet smells blood. Jasmine, still unseen, became both villain and victim. Some said she'd been wronged. Others called her an opportunist. Her silence became performance art, a haunting act of restraint in a world addicted to noise. And then came another spark. Tashak hinted that the DNA story was only part one of a bigger revelation. Fans froze. Comment sections erupted. Theories spiraled. Another baby, old receipts, deleted messages. Each rumor spawned 10 more. At that point, Truth was irrelevant. The perception was complete. By week's end, love and hip-hop forums resembled digital crime scenes. Timelines mapped out. Arrows connecting posts to episodes. Voiceovers dissecting tone and posture. The line between journalism and obsession long gone, and through it all, Yandy remained silent. Sometimes strength isn't shouting. Sometimes it's surviving while the world narrates your heartbreak for you. But silence has a cost. And that cost, as the world was about to learn, would come due in the most explosive way imaginable. The silence didn't last. It never does. When millions of people are waiting for an answer, even the quiet hum of breathing can sound like confession. Days turned into nights of speculation. Every hour birthed a new theory. Every post a new receipt, and in the middle of it all sat Yandy Smith, staring at her phone, scrolling through a reality she didn't create but now had to survive. Her name was trending again. Not for her business, not for her charity work, but for her heartbreak. Insiders said Yandy barely spoke that week. Her friends texted, called, prayed. She replied with hearts, with silence, with a single line, "I'm not ready to talk." But her eyes, those eyes that built a brand on composure, told another story. They were red, swollen, and haunted by a single question looping in her mind. What if the rumors are true? Mendeecees Harris felt the pressure too. His calm began to crack. What once looked like discipline now looked like guilt. He posted motivational quotes about faith, about weathering storms, but fans saw through it. They dissected every word, every comma. Faith? They asked. Or fear? They asked. Or fear? Behind closed doors, the air inside their home was thick with words unsaid. Yandy would enter the room, glance at him, then leave without speaking. When she finally did, her voice trembled but her stare didn't. "I need the truth, Mendeecees. All of it, no more half answers." He hesitated, took a breath, then gave her another half-dash answer. It wasn't the lie that hurt. It was the hesitation. That pause, that small, deadly silence, told her everything she needed to know. Meanwhile, outside, Jasmine Washington still hadn't spoken. Her quiet became legend. She posted a black screen with the words "Timing reveals everything." That single sentence broke the internet. Was it a warning? A confession? A countdown? Nobody knew. Nobody cared. The guessing was the entertainment. Tashak returned live that night, her glass of wine gleaming beneath studio lights. She smiled, that slow, knowing smile that means she has something you don't, the DNA results. She said, pausing for drama aren't the whole story. They're the spark. Her viewers flooded the chat. What spark? Who's the father? Is Yandy leaving him? She didn't answer. She just said, when accountability meets timing, everything burns, and with that, she ended the stream. The internet exploded. Clips flooded TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Hashtag #BOMBSHELL hit 1 million views overnight. Every gossip page turned into a war zone. Team Yandy versus Team Jasmine. Some demanded compassion. Others demanded receipts. The producers of Love and Hip Hop were reportedly in chaos of their own. Meetings ran late. Contracts were reviewed. Someone whispered that unseen footage existed. Tense moments, cut from earlier episodes, where the energy between Jasmine and Mendeecees felt off. Executives debated ethics, ratings, reputation. Could they air something this raw? Could they afford not to? Inside the Smith-Harris home, exhaustion had replaced anger. The children still laughed in the next room, but even their voices carried a weight. At breakfast, Yandy pushed food around her plate, eyes somewhere far away. Mendeecees tried to speak. She interrupted gently. Please, not now. That sentence, soft, restrained, felt heavier than any scream. Insiders said Mendeecees began taking late-night drives, hours alone with nothing but his thoughts. He'd park, sit in silence, and stare at the city lights like they could give him back his peace. Friends tried to reach him, but his replies were short, distant. I just need space. Jasmine, though, was becoming the internet's shadow queen. Her stillness was power. Her every move an event. When she finally posted again, a picture of her hand resting on a table beside a folded envelope, fans lost their minds. The caption read, "Truth doesn't need to shout." That was all it took. Thousands of comments, memes, lives, theories. Was that the DNA envelope? Was she confirming it? Tasha K went live again. This time her tone was darker. She said, "What's real hurts more than what's rumored. And baby, this one hurts." Her audience froze. In one night, the story shifted from gossip to tragedy. Yandy's friends rallied around her. Some told her to leave. Others told her to stay strong. But one, close to her heart, said quietly, "Whatever happens, don't let the internet tell your story for you." And that line became her lifeline. Still, her pain leaked through. Her captions became fragments of heartbreak. Peace is expensive. Some storms are meant to wash people away. Each one drew millions of views. Mendeecees, trying to reclaim control, sat down for a short interview. He didn't deny the rumors, but he didn't confirm them either. He said, "People forget I've already faced the worst of judgment. I know what it feels like to be accused." But as soon as he said it, fans clipped that line and captioned it, deflecting, "Once the internet crowns you guilty." Even honesty sounds rehearsed. Weeks passed. The story refused to die. Every glance between Yandy and Mendeecees on camera became a Rorschach test for the audience. Some saw forgiveness. Others saw the last chapter of a love story. And Jasmine, she simply watched, quiet, calculated, a ghost hunting every timeline. Insiders claimed VH1 was quietly preparing a special episode. Cameras had already been seen near Yandy's home. Producers whispered about confessionals, about telling their truth. But even they knew this wasn't entertainment anymore. It was a wound, and every viewer wanted to watch it bleed. The truth behind the alleged DNA results remained unverified. But the damage, the emotional wreckage, was painfully real. Yandy Smith was no longer just a wife or a reality TV star. She was a symbol of public pain. Mendeecees Harris was no longer just a husband. He was the man fighting shadows of his own making. And Jasmine Washington, whether villain or victim, had become the mystery that held everyone captive. Late one night, Yandy posted a single video. No words, just her reflection in the mirror. Eyes tired but steady. In the background, faint music, the lyrics repeating, "What's done in the dark will come to light." It was the calm after the storm. Or maybe the warning before the next one, because in this world, the world of cameras, captions, and calculated silence, truth isn't what's proven. It's what people believe. And right now, the people believe that Jasmine's DNA bombshell didn't just test biology. It tested loyalty, love, and the fragile line between private heartbreak and public spectacle. The results may still be secret, but the damage? That's already public. That's already public.